Okay, so today I made some strides with doing the Web3 stuff to actually create a contract. I got it to work. A couple of things. You want in your smart contract, you want to use I guess, call them the function types. You have pure, and we mentioned it was in the document we looked at last night. Pure, what are they now? Pure means there's no reading and writing. View, which is the one that is important, most important to us, is I'm going to read data, and that means you don't need any gas to to run the transaction. So let's see here. I want to today's try to get this thing to refresh, but here we go. No. Anyway, yeah, if it's a pure contract, then you shouldn't need to use gas because you're just retrieving data. I'm just looking at the document again just to refresh. Let's see. So pure doesn't 4 types of fund. And then payable we've mentioned in the past. That's where you have to pay the let's see. I thought this talked about it. So again, pure doesn't read or write data. I don't know if we have any of those. View reads but doesn't write data, so it doesn't alter the state. That name and okay. And we talked about the send. So there should not be a transaction because nothing was altered. And that is something that you have to be careful of when you're writing your methods that you put. If you are just reading, you make it a view, and that prevents an error that I was running into. But we now have it running, and so let's see. Let's have a look at this. So what I did here is I deployed. I have a state set up at the top, which is what you do in React. I get the network ID, I get the account. I always use account 0, which is the one selected in MetaMask. And remember, we looked at this code here. We get the deployed network, and then what we do is we create the contract instance. We then once we do that, let's see what we're looking at. We set the state, we log the account, and then we deploy it. And of course, since it's a transaction, we have to use gas. And then we can retrieve the address. And this is just see, you're making a call here. You get that, and I guess I saved it second time, which probably, no, this is when I run it. So I have Web3, I have the accounts. I now use contract retrieve. Okay, to continue, what ends up happening is we then are going to run and make a call. And because this is a get, we don't need any gas. So we just make the call and we log it, and it does return 10. And I guess we didn't do much with the render now. This is the original render. But you can see how we have these state variables that we can then display in, back to the user. So that is essentially how the app works. The important thing, of course, is to use your pures, and not your pures, your views for things that you're just getting. If you are doing a transaction where you're changing data, like deploying here, you have to do your gas. And one thing I also ran across is you might get an error if you don't make the gas high enough. So these are the things you need to be aware of. And I don't know, let me see what I got here. Yeah, so this is the code from, this is how it looks in Visual Studio Code. And let me see about Ganache, because Ganache doesn't seem to like updating. Well, I guess it's not a transaction. So that is probably why we're not seeing it in transactions. Is that you should only see one. That's odd. Let's see. So it looks like it's continuing to mine. Let's see. Let's look. I'm just looking at the logs. I'm looking at Ganache and seeing if there's anything I should be showing you in here. Yeah. There's a yeah. Let me show you. You can see the contract. Creation call, ETH call, get transaction receipt, and then the mining. Let me show you that. I think this is it. Yeah. So Ganache, this contract creation, gas usage, block number, and a lot of mining, get transaction receipt, which we did, get code, so that is probably the code when we called the get. Let me try refreshing and see what we see in the log. It's still in the debugger. All right. So let's refresh. And maybe was seeing the get transaction receipt. And then it, let's see, finish creating the contract. And ETH call, get code. So you can see it's actually calling back to the blockchain and doing what we want. So hopefully this has been helpful. If it has, please give a like. Please subscribe, ring the bell to get further videos. Please share it with your friends who may be interested. And I will speak to you next. By the way, I still have my report out there, and I'll put that link in the notes. So again, take care, and I will speak to you next time.